I feel exactly the same way. I feel like if there is a rejected mating bond plot line happening here, I think it has to be equal, like among all sides. I don't think that Elaine can just unilaterally break this bond to begin with. But even if she could, I would rather that she didn't. I want Lucian to be just as invested in breaking the bond as Elaine is. I want them to set each other free. I also think that a rejected mating bond from Elaine doesn't necessarily mean that Lucian doesn't get a happy ending. Like, Lucian has options. I think the most interesting, least heteronormative, most likely option is the triad, the wide shoes option, in which Elaine and Lucian, they go out of their way to figure out how to break this bond, only to fall in love with Azriel in the mix. And then Azriel is chosen. He gets to be the guy who's chosen not by one person, but by two. Vasa is an option for Lucian, especially because they're already spending a lot of time together. And I have gone on record and will continue to say that I think it would be incredibly powerful if somebody became human instead of like turning fae. Like a fae person steps into the cauldron, becomes a human person, and then is like, hey girly, what are you doing for the rest of your life? Not only do I think that that could be super cool, I think that it could be Lucian, because he would have, let's say if he is in love with Vasa, he would have good personal romantic reasons to do so, and he would have political reasons to do so, because the Night Court is really scheming after Lucian and his, day court lineage or whatever that he doesn't even know about. Lucian stepping into the cauldron for Vasa, becoming human, it essentially removes him from the political equation, and it changes things for the Night Court. The Night Court isn't necessarily operating with the prescience that they think that they have, and I think that that's interesting. I think if it is one-sided, it's going to be sad in a way that isn't rewarding, and I think for a romantasy series, especially a romantasy series that's so heavily invested in happily ever afters, there's no way that we're not going to get a happy ending, including for a rejected mate. I just don't think that that's going to happen. Like, Sarah talked a lot of shit on Call Her Daddy. She had a lot of like interesting things to say about the mating bond and all of that, but she didn't necessarily, I don't think she talked about Lucian in a bad enough light where I think he's going to get villainized. Honestly, if he does, I feel like that is a huge missed opportunity, and I feel like that is a flattening of the themes that we've seen so far, and that would just be really shitty. I would not want to see that at all. And I don't think anybody invested in the ship war in a sane way wants the worst to happen for Lucian either, because Lucian's not a bad guy. I've definitely seen like in Elreal discourse, like a villainization of Lucian, especially in fanfic, but I personally don't get that, because Lucian has always shown himself to be a reasonably consistent person, and it would be very weird for him to get villainized. This wouldn't be a Tamlin situation where Tamlin, if you go back and you read the first book, you're just kind of like, okay, like there are some red flags here. I am picking up on them. I didn't like Tamlin at first. So when he did show himself to be an asshole, I was like, all right, well, yeah, you're an asshole. Lucian has never been that. If anything, I wanted Feyre to get with Lucian. That is like my bucket list crack ship. But even when Lucian was being kind of a dick to Feyre at first, he wasn't being villainous. He wasn't being abusive. And it would be strange to reframe him as such in a way that completely retcons everything that came before it. Like, what the fuck? So no, I would not want Lucian to be villainized at all. And I would want this breaking of the mating bond, which does seem likely now, thanks to Call Her Daddy. I want that done in the way that serves these characters the most positively.